everyone, and welcome back to another reading vlog. It is now day 3 of InLoveAthon, and if you saw my last reading vlog, you know that I'm having a bit of a dilemma where all of the books on my TBR have not come in from the library yet. So I don't really own any books that fit the challenges, so what I'm gonna end up doing is, instead of just sitting around and not reading anything, I figured I would just read one of the other books I was planning on reading this month, even though it completes none of the challenges. It's really big, and so I'm probably not even going to finish it this week, but I don't want to just stand around and waste my time. And that book is Now I Rise by Kirsten White. This is the second book in the And I Darken series. I just finished reading the first book a couple days ago, and so I immediately got this, but like I said, it's really big and it doesn't complete any of the challenges as far as I know, so I'm just going to be reading this in the time being. Hopefully I'll be able to get them from the library tomorrow, or at least one of the books, and then we'll see how fast I can get through the challenges. Okay, so it's actually quite a few hours since the last time I filmed, and you'll be happy to know that I have read nothing. Haven't even read a single page. I spent a lot of the afternoon, well, first of all, I slept in really late, so when I filmed that last clip, it was probably around 11 or 12, and now it's around 5. So in that time, I edited and uploaded my reading vlog for the first 2 days of InLoveAthon, and then I also watched the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children movie with my mom. I had read those books, like, I think in 2016 when I first started my channel, and I didn't really like the books very much, but the movie is directed by Tim Burton, who is my favorite movie director ever, so I knew at some point I would have to watch the film, and I actually really enjoyed the film, and it kind of put me in the mood to reread the books, but like I said, I didn't like them that much, so I'm sure that feeling will pass quickly. Because I'm having such a hard time like sitting down and picking up a book today, I actually thought I would start my reading sprints a little bit early, and so I have something to kind of hold me accountable to read for the next few hours. So yeah, I am going to do that, and then hopefully I will actually start this book. Oh, and also 2 of the books that I had requested from the library came in, but I can't get them until tomorrow because it's really snowy outside and the roads are like super dangerous. So I have to wait until tomorrow to get those, so for now I'm just going to be reading this book. Hi guys, so it is now the next day, so it is day 4 of InLoveAthon, I believe, and yesterday was just not a good day for reading. If it's any indication, I am only up to page 50 of Now I Rise. So yeah, I didn't really read at all yesterday, but hopefully that will be rectified today, because on my way home from work I will finally be able to pick up some of the books that I requested from the library that were on my TBR. I had requested 3 books from the library. 2 of them were new releases, and one of them I just don't think is gonna come in at all. It was Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss by Casey West, which I think was released on the 5th of February, so yeah, I was really pushing my luck when I thought that that would come in before the readathon ended, but the other 2 have come in, so I will pick them up on my way home from work, and then hopefully I can actually like start on what my TBR was originally supposed to be. Yeah, I will update you guys when I come home. So I just got home from work. Sorry that you can hear the heater running in the background, but I thought I would show you guys what I got from my library. I'm gonna shut this door because I feel like it will make it a little quieter possibly. Okay, so the first book that I was able to pick up was Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I think this is going to go for the challenge of reading one of the hosts' picks, because this was Christina's pick, and I think I'm also going to use it for the challenge of reading a book by one of your favorite romance authors, because the book I was originally going to use for this challenge was Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss, which was the book that I wasn't able to pick up, because Casey West is my like all-time favorite contemporary romance author, and so she's like my only one really, because any other, like Colleen Hoover, I read It Ends With Us and I absolutely adored it, but that's the only book by her that I've read, so I feel like I can't really consider her to be one of my favorite romance authors. but for this challenge we're going to consider her to be. And yeah, I'm like super duper excited to read this one. Out of all the rest of Colleen Hoover's books, this is the one that I was kind of like looking forward to reading the least, but I'm still excited to read it because I did love her other books so much. And then the other book that I picked up was The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I definitely didn't say that right, but this I want to say will work for the challenge of reading a book that is set in a place where you'd like to spend Valentine's Day, because this is set in Paris and I would like to spend every day of my life there. And then I think I'm also going to use this for the challenge of reading one of your favorite genres with a romance in it, because, well, I think this is a fantasy novel, but fantasy is one of my favorite genres, and I feel like with most fantasies you can be pretty safe in assuming that there's going to be some kind of romance happening. So those are the two challenges I'll be using that book for, and the two challenges I'll be using the other book for. If I can finish them both by the end of this week, then that will tick off another 4 challenges. So I think I will spend the rest of my night reading this book, and then the watch along is happening tonight, and we'll be watching Beauty and the Beast, the animated version, so I am very excited for that. And yeah, this is just gonna be like a really good night. I'm very excited for tonight. Hey guys, so it is now the next day, so it is the 4th day of InLoveAthon, and I just got home from work a couple hours ago, and clearly I am failing at both the vlogging and reading part of this readathon. So yesterday night I watched Beauty and the Beast for the watch along for InLoveAthon, and I've never participated in one of the watch alongs before because I don't really like romance movies, and the way that we pick the romance movie that we watch for the watch along is that each of the hosts pick a film and then we do a poll and you guys get to vote on which one we're actually going to watch. And so because I don't like romance movies, I always picked a movie that was like borderline, probably not considered a romance, and so obviously this time around I picked Beauty and the Beast, and shockingly it won. So I watched it last night and we like live tweeted it, me and all the other hosts, and it was a absolute blast, and I would totally love to do that again. I would love to just, I don't know, like make it a series where I watch or like live tweet Disney films, because I just have like so much to say when I'm watching them. So yeah, that's what I did last night. So that completed the challenge of reading a fairy tale and watching the film adaptation. And then I also started last night Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover, and I think I'm only about 55 pages into it. So yeah, like I said, I'm not doing so well at this, but yeah, maybe someday. If you don't know what this is about, I want to say this is new adult, since the main protagonist that we're following is 22 years old. So she's like having a pretty good life. She lives with her like best friend slash roommate, and she's got a boyfriend. And at the beginning of this novel, we learn that the boyfriend is cheating with her best friend slash roommate. And like at the same time that that's happening, Sydney will go out and like sit on her balcony, and across the way on his balcony is a boy that like plays the guitar, and you know, drama happens. Yeah, like I said, I'm only 55 pages into it, so it's a bit early to like make up my thoughts on it, but I'm not super invested in the story or the characters as of right now. However, Colleen Hoover just has a way of like her writing just completely grips you, and like you just can't stop reading it even if you like don't really like the story. That's the same thing that happened with It Ends With Us. Even though I adored the book by the end, the first like couple hundred pages were kind of very fan fiction-y, and I kind of hated them, so, but somehow I couldn't stop reading them. Same thing is happening with this book. What I will say is, and I don't know if this will be considered a spoiler, so if you're like super sensitive to spoilers, then I would mute the video and I'll like put something on the screen, and when it disappears then you'll know it's okay to unmute it, but for now mute it if you don't want to be spoiled. So basically the love interest in this book turns out to be deaf. I obviously can't speak on whether the representation is accurate or not, but outside of that, I thought it was good that it is being represented in this book. Like I said, I don't know if it's being represented well or not, but I did like that aspect of the story that's being introduced. But at the same time, the main characters are speaking a lot through text message, and I think that that would be okay if this was like a movie, but because it's a book, I just feel like I'm having a hard time like reading their conversations through text message, I feel like it's harder to find like the emotion in it because I'm like imagining them texting and not talking. And yeah, like I said, it would be easier in a film where you could like see how they're acting, but having to like imagine it is for some reason a lot harder for me. So yeah, I like the aspect of how the love interest is deaf, but at the same time I feel like I don't like how the book is now being formatted through text message. So yeah, that's the end of that spoiler, but that's all I really have to say on this book. And yeah, I will probably update you guys later tonight because I think I'm going to try and complete one of the other challenges of reading a book while eating a Valentine's treat. And I also think I'm going to end this vlog tonight and start a new one tomorrow. So yeah, I will talk to you guys a bit later. Okay, well, it is the next day now, and I just got home from work. It's after 7:30 at night, so at this point I'm just kind of coming to terms with the fact that I'm not doing very good with vlogging or reading, but we're not even going to talk about that right now. So yeah, I know I said yesterday that I was going to end that vlog yesterday night and then pick up a new one today. I'm just failing at this completely, so I figure I don't really have enough content, / it's not really interesting enough for me to end it last night. So I'm just going to carry on with this vlog until the readathon ends, which it ends tomorrow, so yeah. I also think I said that I was going to try and complete the challenge of reading a book while eating a Valentine's Day treat, which also didn't happen. But I am actually going to do it tonight because I've got my treat with me, so it's actually going to happen. So yeah, I am now on page 150 of Maybe Someday, and I'm not really enjoying it any more than I was before, but that was the same with It Ends With Us. Like, I pretty much hated it until I loved it, and so I still have hope for this one. Hopefully, like, the last half / the ending will, like, bring it all together. I don't know. I might also just be in denial, whatever. So I have a box of chocolate here, which I am going to eat while I read this book, and it is a very fitting box of chocolates because it has a dragon on it. Like, hello. I'm going to do that, but I thought I would show you some of the stuff that I picked up today after work. So I actually work right across from the Disney store at my mall, so I just like gaze into it all day through the window, and then I pretty much go there like twice a day. I go on my break and then I go when I get out of work. So I ended up buying this purse. This was on sale for $25, and then I also had a 25% coupon. And then I had a gift card, so it cost me basically nothing. And this was a part of like the, I don't know what the collection was, the 1992 premiere series, but it was basically like really like fancy things that themed to the Disney princesses. So this was one of Jasmine's items, and I really like it because it's like very subtle Disney, and as much as I'm like all about tacky Disney, I kind of like this as well. And then it looks like that on the inside. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. And then I went to Barnes & Noble and I bought King of Scars. This is like my most anticipated release of the year, and I got the special edition that came with a fold-out poster. I haven't seen the poster yet because it's one that you have to actually rip out of the book in order to look at, and I don't really want to rip it out of the book. I kind of want to leave it there, but yeah, eventually I'll probably get around to looking at it. So yeah, very excited about this. But now I am going to read and eat my chocolate, so yeah. So it is now the final day of the readathon, and I'm about 200 pages into Maybe Someday, and I just have my fingers crossed that I can finish this by the end of tonight because it's obvious I won't be able to move on to the Gilded Wolves. And honestly, I blame my failing of this readathon half on myself for just being lazy when it comes to reading, but also half because the books didn't come into the library until halfway through the readathon, so this is only half my fault. But yeah, I have the closing shift tonight at work, so I'll be at work from 2 until like 10 o'clock. So hopefully I can read until I have to leave, and then maybe I can read a little bit at work, and then I'll still have like a good hour and a half when I get home to read before midnight happens. So hopefully this will be finished by tonight. And as far as what I think of the book, I'm still not loving it. It's like a good 2-star read right now. But again, I still have hope that the ending will just blow me out of the water, so we'll see. Hi guys, so it is now the next day, which means the readathon is officially over. And last night I did manage to finish, well, last night / kind of early this morning, I managed to finish Maybe Someday. I'm going to include it even though I didn't technically finish it yesterday, but I was like 40 pages from the end and I just ended up falling asleep, so I just finished it quickly this morning. Yeah, I'm not super proud of how I did in this readathon, and hopefully this vlog isn't too boring. But yeah, it started off really strong and then it just went downhill pretty quickly, and I do blame it a little bit on the fact that none of my library books came in on time, and the third book that I had requested from my TBR just came in yesterday, so it's a bit late for that. So I think I ended up completing about 4 or 5 challenges. I completed the challenge of reading a original fairy tale and watching the movie adaptation by reading Beauty and the Beast, and obviously watching the movie. Then completed the challenge of reading a book by your favorite romance author by reading Maybe Someday. It's also worked for the challenge of reading a book while having a Valentine's Day treat. And it also completed the challenge of reading a host pick, because this was Christina's pick. And my battery is flashing, so I have to wrap this up quickly, but I also completed the challenge of reading a book with your favorite romantic trope by reading this book. So yeah, my battery is flashing intensely. I'll talk more about my thoughts on this. I gave it 2 stars. I'll talk about it in my wrap-up. Most of my thoughts are spoilery anyway, so I can't really say too much, but yeah, 2 stars, pretty disappointing. I hope this video wasn't too boring for you guys. Hopefully somebody enjoyed it. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
You hear that, Samson?